Welcome back to the Three Amibros podcast. There's only two of us today, and with the 2022-2023 season coming or at an end, with the Super Bowl happening just a couple days ago, and yes, the rumors are true. Chris was going for the Eagles so hard, he got arrested again. He was flipping cars, he was taking the Philly name, and he was doing all the shenanigans. We hope to get him out on bail again for next episode. Jay, what do you think of his shenanigans? Is that you think he's gonna continue this?
I just don't understand why he keeps getting locked up.
I don't either,
I mean,
man.
eventually, are you just gonna get sentenced to like a prison? Or, I mean, you've been locked up 5 times in a row, buddy. You're
Yeah, man.
obviously a menace to society.
He keeps getting out though, so
Maybe he just keeps finding a way to get out.
keeps finding a way. And you know who found a way?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs, or maybe officials. Who knows?
No.
We'll talk about that. So what did you think? We did a live stream, which was really fun. Honestly,
Super fun.
it was a really good time. What a wild game.
Yeah. I mean, you could experience with us firsthand, right with one another. It was cool, yeah. For those who were able or who actually listened and were on the live stream, like thank you. We always really
Thank you.
appreciate the support. Yeah, love it. We had 62 views. Woo, woo,
Ooh, and we had
woo.
and we had guests on, which was really fun. Thank you to
Super.
those people that came out. That was so fun. And
Yeah.
if you wanna see any other live streams, follow us at Three Amigos Podcast. I'm getting that out early. Follow
Yeah,
us there.
at the Three Amigos podcast, and
Yeah.
also all handles. But they again, yeah, it was super fun. It was great. It was definitely different. I mean, watching Super Bowl from that, it was really made it like so suspenseful. There was entertainment the entire time. The game itself was just so entertaining. It was a chess match. Like literally, I mean, I thought the Eagles were pretty dominant in most of the game and somehow lost.
Yeah. They like and it was I don't know if it was just how closely I was following the NFL this year, but it was just fun. Like I just was like with the podcast and doing it as much as that we've been doing and watching the Eagles come out and literally manhandle the Chiefs, and then all of a sudden, what was it, the fourth quarter basically? They just like got manhandled.
Mm.
Like
Broke down
they did. They were tired,
for defense.
which was
Just
weird because their defense wasn't on the field that much. Like that was the weird part. Like they weren't on the field that much. They just like kind of
Because there was a couple series where in the beginning where the Chiefs really didn't the first couple series were good, and they
yeah.
kind of fizzled out a little bit. But and Jalen Hurts had that one bad play. Like I would think if anything haunts you, that's the play that haunts me, man. Because like just a fumble for a touchdown really sucks, especially in
That's
this.
rough.
Take that away, it would have been a different game. You've never been in that situation. But the Chiefs did miss a field goal. So like I mean, like it's just the name of the game, the way it plays. But I think the Chiefs just came out in that second half and the Eagles defense could not stop them. Like the Eagles drove down and did it, but like as they were doing, remember we were talking, I was like, dude, they gotta like either do this fast or you stretch it the fuck out because I either give them way too much time to have a field goal or do something like that, or I'm getting all the time up. So they got 30 seconds, just like they did to you.
Yeah, that was the only reason. And then at the end of the game, everyone saw it, people, whatever, controversy, not controversy. I just wish that they would have scored so we could have seen what would happen if the Eagles had the ball with a minute and a half. I just wanted to see that, you know?
Yeah,
Like
100%.
what would it have looked like if like we got the cool last minute and a half, 30, like last 30 seconds, you're on the 50-yard line, you need 30 more yards to get a field goal. Like I wanted to see that. Like that's what I wanted to see, and I think it's what everyone wanted to see. Because I didn't care who won, honestly. Like I was like, oh, I don't really have a really a horse in the race. It was just like it just kind of for me, it was like, damn, to like have a Super Bowl that good end on a dumb call, whether it was good or a bad call, just even if it was like an actual call and he held, sure, whatever. Just a dumb play for that to end on.
Oh, for sure. But again, it just comes down to it. And I think
It's the name of the game.
at the end of it, the one thing you can go out and credit the Eagles team was their grace with how they handled the loss, even like admitting, hey, you can't let it do that. You can't determine that. So that's, I mean, if it is what it is, we still lost. It's all good. Even the Brad, is it Bradbury or Yeah, I think that's his last name.
I don't know.
He even admitted, he just like, I did it.
Yeah, he said he held it. He's like, I held. Sure,
Held it.
I thought I would get away with it. It's like the only thing that got me was sure he held, but they had been letting it go all game, and then you call it at like pivotal. I think that was it. Sure, whatever he holds, whatever. But it's like you've been letting it go all game, and
All
then you
game.
finally call it in the most like pivotal moment.
I mean, my only argument behind that was it wasn't even gonna get close to the ball.
Yeah,
Period. It was an overthrown ball. So
why hold?
even
And
like
he
that,
did.
like and we said in the beginning of the game, they had this play where they should have got called for a hold. Like the
Yeah,
Eagles should have got called for a hold and didn't. And
came back to bite him.
then at the end it got called. So it just is what it is. It's how the game works and it's how it ended. And I really was hoping for the Eagles to pull out that win just for again, we said like I like Jalen Hurts, blah blah blah. But overall, what a good game. It was competitive to the very, very end. But it wasn't as like emotional. I feel like it wasn't like a lot of highs, a lot of lows. It was just steady and it was just good play.
It was a
Both
fun
teams played
game.
lights out. Like really just overall good performance. It was fun.
Yeah, it
30,
was fun. It's fun
was
to
it 37,
watch.
35? What was the end up score?
Yeah, 38-35.
38, 35. Kind of high scoring too for a little Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
it was. I mean, the over was 50.1, I think, or 50.5. I think that was the over under.
They did it.
Yeah, it was a high scoring, it was a high scoring Super Bowl. And honestly, it was fun to watch. The Yeti water, those things are so nice, dude.
Are really nice. It was a Christmas
Oh,
gift from my area manager.
hell yeah, those are so nice.
Shout out to you, Mindy.
Yeah, and it was so did you see the Kelsey brother embrace at the end of it?
Sad. So
Dude,
sad.
so sad. Like on both sides, not even like you could just like it was so I heard Travis, I don't know when he said it, but he was like you dream about playing against your brother in the Super Bowl, and then you actually have to play him, and you have to live with the fact that you know that they're sad. Like
Yeah.
there's no way of getting around it that they're sad. Like they are
Yeah.
just
I don't know if you saw the other video, but it was a video where they were like embracing on the field and what that moment
that
they
one. Yeah, no, that was ours. Yeah, and it
yeah,
was
that was like he was just like, I don't know what to say. And he's like, it's okay, go have fun, go celebrate. Like and it just kind of yeah, you said it's just different, right?
that was like yeah, and he's like, yeah, that was the one that got me. I was like, damn.
Cute
And it
though,
was,
right?
of course, it was the older brother saying, go celebrate. Like you deserve this. Go.
Tough loss though,
Damn.
man.
And if he continues this, is he gonna be the greatest tight end of all time?
Oh, 100%.
It's
Yeah,
hard to
so good.
debate it, bro.
He's
He's
so
got
good.
2 rings now, and he's a big proponent of why they have rings. It's not just like, and he's only 6 touchdowns away in the postseason to breaking the all-time touchdown record ever. I think Jerry Rice has 22 and he has 16, so
Yeah. I
he's
mean,
six
he's
touchdowns
young and
away from yeah, and they're good enough to do it.
yeah.
That's the thing too, and damn, and it's just they have no
He's
not to be
basically a
that
big body wide receiver.
yeah 100% not to be that guy, but their defense is nowhere compared to their offense, and they keep
Oh,
making it. They keep making it. It's just ridiculous.
just enough to get it done. And when you have Patrick Mahomes, you can win those like last little minute games, those last little second games. Sorry, my cat
Yeah,
is yelling at me.
hell yeah, yeah.
But
It was a good game though. It was really fun. It was really fun. Did you see that Rihanna came out and said she was pregnant?
I know very fast. Everybody called her on it. It was like, yeah, it was
We even
fun.
talked about it because I was like, I just thought it was like, oh, maybe she just had the baby and she just still had the baby weight.
I didn't want to call her fat, but I was like,
But
she's
she was
not fit.
looking a
Yeah,
little,
look,
she was looking a little chunky, like, and I was like, maybe she's just carrying the
belly.
baby weight.
She just had a baby. Like you
Yeah,
could tell she had a belly.
yeah, because her face wasn't. It was like just the belly. It was just that one, the uterus area.
Um, controversy on the halftime show. Some people said it was amazing, one of the best things they've ever seen, and then there's a whole nother half that's the complete opposite. Like it was mediocre. It was
Yeah,
okay. Why do I even watch this? I told you guys it wasn't my favorite.
yeah. What? But did you see that the views, average views for the Super Bowl is 116,
113
and
million.
yeah, and then the average like Rihanna is 118.
Yeah, it was insane.
It's insane.
So much power she has an influence. So
And her when she used her makeup line, it went up. It got searched like 87 million times.
duh. That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's
perfect.
what it
Good for her. Like
advertisement at its best, man.
I think my favorite meme by far though of the Super Bowl was when at the very end when they did that pan shot and then they started doing the Super Smash Bros. Melee.
I haven't
Because
seen
you
that.
know how you start on like the platforms in Super Smash.
Yeah.
That's what they
No.
said it looked like, and they started like putting in and it was that those were some of my favorite memes that I
That's
saw.
kind of funny. Okay,
Just the
I didn't.
Super Smash Bros. That was a good, that was so funny. But
That's
yeah, it was overall. I think the Super Bowl was good.
yeah.
Commercials were funny.
We didn't really watch them. We were
No,
talking.
we were talking through the whole time. The live stream was a lot of fun. It's
We're
very,
more like, what is this?
yeah, very memorable for us though. First
Yes,
live
first
stream,
one.
very, very fun. But now that football is over, we have to grow and adapt because we are a sports podcast. We're not just a football podcast. And
We talk about other sports. We
there
just
are
get more
other
educated.
sports. There are other sports in the world. And we have one of the biggest, I would say probably the second biggest sport in America. I would say. Yeah. Would you say football is the first biggest sport and basketball is the second biggest sport? Or do you think baseball takes the cake for the second biggest sport?
I think they were dead, like in the middle.
Yeah, because I think it's basketball. And why bring up basketball? You know, it's such a long season, 82 games, right? 82
Yeah.
games in a year. You go from when do they even start? Because they end in like June and they start in like December. No, they're playing like November, October. Yeah, they start like somewhere around. That's a long season for them. But there was a lot of trades at this deadline and a lot of complicated trades. And we're gonna go through them. And Justin is our probably the person who knows the most about basketball. I'm not gonna say the expert on basketball, but he knows the most on this podcast about. He knows the most. So I'm gonna you walk me through some of these trades that happen, and
All right. First
we
off,
we go through who. Let's kind of maybe decide who won the trade overall.
dope. I like it.
Cool.
First off, basketball it has eclipsed baseball, so basketball is the second most popular sport.
Okay, I was right. I was like, come on, there's no way that baseball's third.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to start from like the newest ones or the latest ones? And let's go
Let's
through.
let's start with the biggest ones.
Okay. And I just have to start with this as we lead into it. We don't know much, and so we don't sound ridiculous. Just let us be. We figure it out too. But we do love all sports.
Yes.
I play anything that's competitive. That's my nature, and we play until I bleed or Alex bleeds.
Yes,
Mm.
100%. Either way,
Um,
we've played so hard in a basketball court that he broke a
Apple.
$250 watch. So
Yep. Right
it
on Alex's elbow, made him bleed
yep,
everywhere.
it was great. It was a good time. But and
But we'll
if
start
we
with
don't-
the biggest
yeah,
one. I would say, I would say Durant was actually
okay,
the biggest one. It had
probably.
the most components to it. It was a last second deal on the day of trade deadline, and one that I don't think anybody really expected.
Yeah.
I think that one was kind of more up in there. Kyrie leaving was made a little bit more sense, but the Suns land Durant in a 4-team deal. 4 teams were involved
That's
in this. First
insane.
off, basketball. Why are you making this so
Yeah, that's
complicated?
wild. Because Kyrie was like almost like I want to be traded, right?
Yeah. I think
But
he asked to be traded.
but Durant was never like in the conversation of I want to be traded. It was more of just like the Nets wanted to sell, like fire sell everybody, I guess.
Yeah. I think they wanted just a clean house. And honestly,
Well, I mean, with the amount of picks that they got from this trade, maybe.
and young talent.
Yeah, those two guys are. I don't know
I think
about.
they just refreshed their entire team and just said, fuck it, we're just gonna go young talent and just start acquiring first round picks and just work it. So here's everything that everybody got. So bear with us. These
Yes.
Suns received Kevin Durant and TJ Warren. Everybody knows KD. TJ Warren's another really decent.
I don't know who TJ Warren is, but I'm looking up
He's a
his
role
stats
player.
real quick. He averages 9.5 points a game. And he rebounds 2.8, 1.1 assists. Cool.
Yeah, he's definitely a role player, but
He's a
little
little
bit
old.
yeah, so he's 29, so a little older. I would definitely say he's coming off the bench or
Yeah.
something like that.
Do you think that was just like an add-on for maybe wanting to trade something later, or maybe to see if they got a good role player from him? Because they lost two good players.
Another big man. He's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
big. Then the Bucks receive Jay Crowder from the Suns, so the Bucks got involved in this a little bit. The Pacers received George Hill, Serge Ibaka, and this guy named Jordan Noir. I don't even know. Those players were all from Milwaukee.
Okay.
3 future second round picks from Milwaukee and cash considerations from Brooklyn. See how
So
complicated that sounds?
tell me why. Tell me why the Nets even have to do anything for them in that trade. They didn't get anything from them, and they didn't give, and they just had to give them something. I'm
Because
confused.
it's like it's just everybody, because then everybody just plays along in this.
But
Like,
they didn't get any, and unless Juan Pablo Valet is from the Pacers, like they didn't get anybody.
we're gonna search the web on that one, by the way.
Yeah, because I have no idea who that is. I'm gonna be honest with you. And also the Bucks receiving Jay Crowder that's
Dude, he's
big.
an old guy. I don't even think he's much or where he was from. I think I don't even think he technically plays or he
I don't
plays
even
in
know.
Argentina.
I don't even know who that is. Because that's a wild one.
Again, he has NBA rights. It's one of those things. So before we were researching and looking this stuff. It's like these NBA draft
Oh.
rights. If anybody knows and listens to this, drop a hint in the comments. Let us know what these
Help
NBA
me out
rights
what
are.
this means with this, like they have draft rights to these
Because
people.
that's what they basically got was a draft right. So this is what don't know why. And this is the Nets received Malik Bridges, Cameron Johnson, who were both from the Suns. Both pretty good players. I mean, help them get to the finals section. So I thought that was crazy. But then they got first round pick. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first round picks or first round pick swap in 2028. So they have a total of 4 picks plus a swap. And then they had 2 second round picks from Milwaukee. That's what makes this so confusing. So basketball, make this simpler. Anyways.
Also,
So many picks.
Do you think Durant is worth 4 first round picks?
Yeah.
For the last 23, 25, 27, and then you swap 28 and then you give 29?
Yes, because the Suns have to win now.
Yeah, they do have a win now team, actually.
They have to win now.
Well, they have to win the next 4 years. Like they are very is CP3 still on their team?
Yeah.
So team CP3, Durant, D-Book, and Ayton.
That's the dirtiest.
That's a starting 4. Oh my gosh, who's their 5th person that's coming? Well, no, who's their 5th? Who would be their 5th? Because you have CP at the 1, you have Brooks at the 2, or Booker at the 2, and then you have Durant at the 4, Ayton at the 5. So who's playing the 3? That's where Jay was.
Damian Lee.
I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. I do know who he is. I just gotta remember who he is.
Because you had Crowder playing the 4, the 3. And you had Bridges playing the 3, basically. Cameron Johnson played the 2 and the 3.
I think he's young.
But that's wild. So who do you think won this trade?
Oh, he's old.
You have Kevin Durant, TJ Warren, the Suns, Bridges, Johnson.
The Nets. That's who won.
I mean, that's a lot of trade. That's a lot of draft capital.
Because they just got 2 really solid players. Plus, they have so many draft capitals. The team I think got bucked in this one was the Bucks. How did the Bucks only receive Jay Crowder, but ended up giving out 2 second round picks and 3 future, so 5 total second round picks and 3 players?
Yeah, and that doesn't make sense like for the Jay Crowder because he's a 4, and he is old.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's a weird one. And he only averages like 10 points a game. It's not like crazy. That's weird. That's a weird one. And they get rid of how much
really good role player though, again, because he is good.
He's a very good, like his stats don't equate to how much he helps a team.
Yeah.
He's very yeah. So yeah, I think
a little old.
I think honestly the Suns won this trade. Anytime you can get Durant, man, you win a trade.
Oh my god, I don't know.
No, dude. Anytime you can get Durant, bro. Like if
it brings them a championship, it's a win for them.
If the Suns, honestly, if the Suns get a championship out of this, it's a win for them.
Right. Weird one. That was again so confusing, but there's our little picks.
How long do you think that trade took to take place? Like holy crap!
It took till the last day, last minute. So it obviously a lot of it.
So who's the next trade?
I think we talked already about the Irving deal because
we did.
So that one we already know, and I think already the Mavericks have been benefited from it. So I don't know if you've watched or seen the last couple just games since he's been able to play,
Have they
and
been good?
they look good. Yeah, Kyrie looks good. Like and he's playing pretty deep, like lights out. So that has been awesome. They just lost last night to the Timberwolves, but like Irving had 26 points, which is pretty good. I mean, I think overall his stats were. Let's just check these out. Irving was 36 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, was 15 for 23. Luka was 10 for 20 with 33 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. So like, I mean, dude, they're working through it, but they
They're on
lost
a
124 to 121. Like it wasn't like it was
Yeah,
bad.
they're on a 2-game losing streak, but they're 6-4 over the last 10.
You said a 2 game losing streak?
Yeah.
Mm.
The Bucks are
I
on
think
a
he has one though.
10-game winning streak right now. Holy crap.
The Bucks.
Yeah.
I think the first game he was in was against the Clippers, in which they won.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, they've how
First
many
game
games
he
have
was
they won
in,
with him?
two.
Two?
They're
Okay,
2.
so they're 2-2.
Not bad.
Not bad. They've got to figure it out, you know. They're gonna get it.
This one was a weird one. And I think so. The Lakers traded for D'Angelo Russell. That was the big talk. But in the term, traded a lot of other players. So Lakers received D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and this guy named Jared Vanderbilt. Never heard of him, but oh well. Timberwolves received Mike Conley, who was definitely on the Jazz, and Nickeil Alexander Walker. Don't know who he is, but also received 1, 2, 3 second-round picks, one from the Lakers and 2 from the Jazz. Then the Jazz received Russell Westbrook, this guy named Juan Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, which is probably another one of those draft rights, and a first round pick from the Lakers.
So you're telling me, so didn't D'Angelo Russell already play for the Lakers, right? Am I misremembering that?
No, he did. He got drafted by the Lakers out of
Okay.
Ohio State.
I was thinking I remember that. And
Yes.
he's coming back.
Yeah.
And is this an effort of LeBron saying I didn't get any help? And it's now like, okay, we'll trade Russell away. Russell
I
going
think no, I think they wanted to trade Russell away.
You think they wanted to get rid of
Yeah, a
Russell?
lot of controversial in the locker room between him and them. I mean, just like
But
you can just
was
not the vibe. What they were looking for wasn't the vibe.
Where is he? He's from Minnesota though.
Who?
D'Angelo.
Yeah, but Russell Westbrook went to the Jazz with a 3-team deal.
And then Mike Conley is from the Jazz and went to
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
Ooh, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure Mike Conley used to be on the Timberwolves. No, he's on the Grizzlies.
He's on the Grizzlies forever, dude.
So, one thing that I think basketball has done to kind of put me off of it or just confuse me is all the trades. Like, doesn't make me want to buy a jersey of a team for
No.
anybody because then it's just gonna get traded away. I mean, they trade players away like hotcakes. Do you think football did it a lot? Fuck that. Basketball does it like every year. And they do it multiple times within a year.
And it's like if you're not the number one, doesn't matter. You know, like you're definitely gonna get traded away. Even if you are the number one. Like look at
Well,
Kyrie. May have been
yeah.
number two, but he was like technically I like a number one, got traded away.
Yeah, but we look at this, and I think for me personally, the Lakers got the good end of this deal because I know Russell Westbrook, with just his mentality and what he was wanting from the team, I think didn't line up with what the Lakers were doing or envisioning or
Mm-hmm.
wanting. I think you can just see a lot of frustration, like with him and that team, and
Yeah.
there's been drama on that team since he's been on there. I think it's more other people saying things about him. Does that make sense? Like, and I think he doesn't like the LeBron show.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been anytime I've seen Westbrook, he's always been behind a superstar.
Yeah.
Durant, he was behind late like what's his name?
He was his
LeBron.
own when he was in
He was his
OKC.
own in OKC, but he didn't do anything besides put up triple doubles. Like he didn't go very far anywhere. Like he didn't go deep into the playoffs. He just was a stat machine though. Like he got a lot of stats, but he would like didn't complete anything like he should have almost, right?
Not what you would envision, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not from what he is, because does he have a ring? I don't think so, right? He's never won a ring.
Mm.
Yeah.
But D'Angelo Russell, I think that's a good pickup. I think leaving the Lakers helped him a lot because I grow up a little bit, and he grew up in Minnesota, which I thought was nice, but back home in LA, I think that's good for their point guard position because that's what Russell was.
Yeah.
Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt both were younger guys, so I think that's also good to add to the young squad that you're trying to build around LeBron, because he's not going to be able, like, his longevity isn't what it is. So you got to get a lot of role players. I think LeBron just ends up being a coach part-time and player, like, player coach.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, for the a win now mentality, I think that helps the Lakers.
Yeah, it does. I think it does
Pressure
help.
off everybody.
And I think the Lakers the most because whoa.
Uh-oh. It's him. He has risen from the flames back out of jail.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
Chris.
gosh. Who is this man connecting to audio? Don't you love Zoom?
Yeah, he's connecting to audio. But I mean, so going back on this trade, we'll get to him in a second. Going back to this trade, if you look at it, I think the Lakers did win as well because you got rid of the nuisance of Russell Westbrook. That just all of the talk around him is just kind of a nuisance, right?
Yeah.
They get D'Angelo Russell, and all you really gave up was somebody you already wanted to get rid of, and a little bit of a draft pick.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, he's back.
Christopher. Hey,
Look at
so
him.
how was your stint in jail? Was it
it was shorter this time. Yeah.
They let you out this
Probation.
time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Hey, we just gotta
I'm
know.
a work release.
Yeah, we gotta know.
Hit me with it.
Are you gonna get like seriously charged, and are we gonna like lose you at one of these times? Like, or you keep getting yourself in jail, and we're just like,
we'll see.
We understand that Philly like lost, and you went rampage and started flipping cars. That's why you went to jail. But like, we're afraid of for you, man.
Well, first of all,
Out of Bail by YG. Out on Bail.
No.
That's
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I love the sweatshirt, Justin. Looking real good. Second of all, no, that's not why I was in jail, because I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I was leaning towards the Eagles winning that game. I would have preferred it, but I wasn't flipping cars after that game by any means.
Then why'd you go to jail?
My lawyer has instructed me not to discuss this. Maybe on a later pod this summer.
Yeah, that's good.
After proceedings.
That's good. Well, Chris, we already did our little thing. We're finishing up who won the trade in the basketball world, because that's what's going on.
Are you referring to the Phoenix Suns?
We just finished talking about that one, but please, we'd love your opinion. Do you know what they all got? Here, real quick. I'll send you this little thing I sent Alex. You know everything they got?
I know pretty much what I don't know the exact picks, but I know they got Mikal Bridges and they got
Cameron Johnson.
Look at this thing I just sent you.
Yes.
And then you just tell me who actually won this. I want to see your face because it's insane.
It's a lot of picks. It's a lot of picks.
Oh, I already think that the Nets kind of won it because the Suns, don't get me, they're just trying to buy a chip this year. I don't know what's going on with KD's contract. Is he like Kyrie? Is he done after this year? Are they gonna have to re-sign him?
I don't know.
I know Kyrie has asked not to be asked about his long-term plan.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Well, I also saw that the Suns, I still haven't gotten it because iMessage is being so weird for me lately. The Suns also wanted to trade for Kyrie. They wanted both.
They wanted both?
Like that's yeah, and I don't think they could have gotten both without getting rid of Chris Paul, which was rumored to happen. Yeah. But they're definitely trying to throw everything they have into winning it this year. But I think you could make the argument that they won it in the short term, but the Nets definitely won it for the future.
Yeah, because they got a 23, 25, 27, 29 first round from Phoenix. And they swapped 28 in the first round for Phoenix. They swapped their picks. And then they got a 28, 29 second round pick from Milwaukee. And they got Bridges and Johnson.
I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, everyone was making fun of the Nets because they kind of had this super team that didn't do anything whatsoever. But now, I think they put themselves in good shape. They got rid of Kyrie, who is obviously a gigantic distraction to every team that he's been on for a lot of reasons, but couldn't keep KD. Who's the biggest star on their team right now? Ben Simmons.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah. So they're in rough shape right now, but I think they'll be okay.
Maybe Bridges is their
I guess you
now.
could,
like
make that argument.
Finals and stuff. But I said that the Suns won just for the pure fact if it delivers a chip, Okay.
Yeah, if the Suns win the championship, then it was 100% worth it, and they won that trade for sure.
He has
He-
3 years left of his contract. BT does.
Okay, so
Oh.
that's not like the same as Kyrie, where the Dallas is really taking a risk on him. So I mean, yeah, I don't hate the move. I think it's pretty smart by the Suns to go after him for sure.
Yeah, and then we talked about the D'Angelo Russell trade.
That's right.
He's
Did you
going
hear
He's
back.
he's with the Lakers now, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Lakers got a
Yep.
bunch of people: D'Angelo Russell's, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. Timberwolves received Mike Conley, Nikhil Alexander Walker, 3 first, second round picks. Jazz received Russell Westbrook, some other places. Yeah, they just.
I heard that Westbrook might get bought out though.
Bought out. What do you mean?
Like they're gonna buy out his contract.
Damn.
Then why would you
why?
trade?
I don't particularly know actually.
Because why would you
Maybe have him play the rest of this year and then buy him out. I don't know. I just heard that was a rumor because I saw Shaq was talking about potential destinations for him to go to.
Yeah, because why would if that's the truth, why would you trade? You trade away Mike Conley.
Well, it's because they obviously got more than just him. It was probably okay, if we're making this trade, you have to take him situation.
No, they got
Because the Pistons
Russell, hold on. They
the
got
Pistons
Russell
traded
Westbrook.
for
They got
yeah.
Russell Westbrook. They got Juan Tacasso Anderson, who averages 2 points a game. You got Damian Jones, who it looks like he is one of those, you own the draft rights to him, but he plays in a European country.
Gotcha.
And they got a first round pick from the Lakers.
I mean, truth be told, they may have just cared about the first round pick
They
if they're
might
going to
have.
buy him out.
Yeah.
Because
Chris, you're so
the
right.
Pistons made a deal for Kemba Walker, among others, over this past offseason, but Kemba Walker never played a game for the Pistons. They bought out his contract and sent him packing because he wasn't what they cared about in the deal.
And Jazz are thinking about it. So on 2/11, the Westbrook met with them, and it was taking some time to think if he would rather have buyout or remain with the rest of the season, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's been quite the journeyman since leaving OKC.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what the weirdest trade was, though?
What's that?
The Kings Nets trade. I don't understand this trade whatsoever. The Kings got Kessler Edwards and a cash consideration. The Nets got draft rights to David I don't know how to say his last name, but they got draft rights to a person.
I don't know enough to know what that really means.
Neither
Is he
do we.
already drafted? Like he's a prospect?
Yeah, no, these guys have been in the league. They were drafted in like 2014, 2016.
And they
They're
just like are chilling in like
players.
the European leagues.
G League? Oh, the European leagues. Okay, like Lithuania or something.
Something
You
like
have
that.
draft
So it's like
rights to
if
them.
they come over, like they owned their contract. Is that
Yeah.
like the thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was just such a weird trade.
There's two more that I really just want to talk about before we
Let's
leave.
do it.
And there's is a big one. I feel like the Clippers gets Eric Gordon from the Rockets.
Wow. Forgot
First off,
about him. He's been
listen,
with the Rockets for a while.
Wow.
has.
The Clippers got Eric Gordon and 3 future second round picks. The Rockets received John Wall, Danny Green, and a swap from the Clippers. But the Rockets just released John Wall because he's hurt again. Hurt his abdomen.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Poor guy.
And-
Poor guy.
And then the Grizzlies receive Luke Kennard, which is from the Clippers.
He used to play for the Pistons. In fact, I don't know if they may have drafted. It's Kennard. They may have drafted him even. Okay, that's interesting.
Interesting.
Yes.
And they were they did draft him because he was there and then went to the Clippers.
What?
But they got 3 second round picks and Eric Gordon, and they all got rid of a player that's been hurt that they don't even like. And then
Right.
Kennard and Danny Green's just a role player at this point.
Yeah.
But
He's not
Eric
the
Gordon
same.
is so old. How many more years does this man have? He's 38.
I know he's been there for a while. Good for
Yeah.
him though.
34.
Have you guys touched on the fact that the I almost called them the Oregon Pace, the Portland Trailblazers totally were shady as fuck in their deal
No,
that
it's
involved the
really-
Pistons and Golden State and I think one other team
Yeah, it's the
with
well,
Gary Payton.
yeah.
What happened?
Basically, there's a multi-team trade, which I love about the NBA. I think it
Yeah.
would be a lot more fun if the NFL.
I don't.
You don't like the multi-team
It's
trades?
just so hard
What
to
the
follow.
fuck is going on?
Well, okay, I agree, but it would be a lot more straightforward in the NFL because you would literally just be talking players and picks. You wouldn't be talking, oh, this guy who plays over in Europe and all
Yeah,
that. Like
and-
you wouldn't have that shit.
Yeah.
Or cash considerations, like they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
or
here's
cat.
what
Yeah,
we
that
got
that
you.
wouldn't really be a thing very much. But essentially, part of this deal was the Trailblazers sending Gary Payton II back to Golden State, and Golden State was sending James Wiseman over to the Pistons, which I don't really know how I feel about this deal. But essentially, when they gave him his physical, he failed the physical because he's still injured. And it came out that the Trailblazers had been making him play injured and just take some painkillers and did not disclose any of that to the Golden State Warriors when they were making the trade offer.
Whoa.
So, like, for a few days, the trade was up in the air on whether it was going to go through. Sounds like the NBA intervened. I don't know how they got it done, but basically the trade did go through. But I just got to imagine that the rest of the league is not going to, be too kind to Portland after kind of pulling that shady shit.
No, that's pretty shady.
That is kind of shady. I don't know. That's crazy. And you guys got rid of 2 decent players from that, right? Or 1. You guys know you got just
one.
Bay, right?
Yeah. I was worried that they were going to get rid of Bogdanovich, but because he was rumored for a long time that he a lot of teams are calling about him. So I thought maybe they would get rid of him, and I don't want to see that. So
The Spurs had 2 trades this year. We got rid of Jakob Partel. I forget whatever it is. Which is kind of sad because he's been such a Spur for a while. But they received a lot for him. A 2024 first round pick, 2023 second round pick, 2025 second round pick. And then they gave away cash for Dwayne Dedman. So, and a 2028 second round pick. They're just going for picks, it looks like.
Building.
They're a young team. They're not very good. And so yeah, I think they're just building. But yeah, that's the trades, man. Those are the NBA trades.
Mo Bamba is also in
Oh, he was just traded, yeah.
Which is one. Okay, last one, because this is the other one I told you we want to talk about. But Patrick Beverley, as quick he was excited, he was beat back. Russell was traded literally the day after.
Where'd he go?
A multi-deal trade. The Magic received Patrick Beverley. That sucks. If I'm going to the Magic.
Well, I mean, he was on a team that wasn't going anywhere anyway.
Maybe with these new trade updates, you never know.
They got destroyed last night by Damian Lillard single-handedly.
Damian's a beast, bro. Don't hate him.
He is a beast.
Thomas Bryant, who was on the Lakers, was traded to the Nuggets. Lakers received Mo Bamba, Devon Reed. I don't even know how to say that name. Then a second round pick. So crazy. It wasn't that much, but literally at the same time, I don't know if Mo Bamba is really that kind of player. I just know the name and he tried to pick a fight.
He's honestly someone, I forget who, someone just roasted him this year by saying you're only relevant because of the rap song.
Literally, bro.
Oh, you dad. What song is that?
Mo Bamba by
Mo Bamba.
Shaq West.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Damn,
Well,
dude.
yep, that's all I have for you in basketball. Besides that, I think we just talked about the Bucks having a 10. We didn't talk about it, but the Bucks are on a 10-game winning streak, which is kind of crazy right now, especially in the East. And I think it's so funny because the Nets were actually in playoff contention and may have just taken themselves out of it. I don't know.
I don't think they care this year.
No, but it was funny who will get in, but I don't think it matters because I think there's 4 teams in the East that are any good to make it anywhere, but they still have to beat a West team, which is almost.
I mean, the Nets could probably even still make it in with how bad the East looks right now. Even with their team, they could still make it in. The West, though, looks a little dicey.
So
I'm going to make a NBA Finals prediction. I don't care who comes out of the West. I think the Celtics take it all this year.
They look, you know what would be trash? It's because the Celtics and the Bruins are both looking kind of
Yeah, they both look really good.
way too good.
Yeah. But you know what? It's the regular season, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not always good to be that hot during the regular season. So
Yeah.
maybe both could fall off.
That's how Denver is looking hot, 40-18. Who knows what happened to them? But they're good.
Yeah.
They keep choking in the playoffs.
Yeah. They can never make it past the second round.
No. It's funny. And then fucking what's his face gets super pissed and basically gets suspended. That's what it feels like.
So you guys haven't touched on any football stuff yet?
No,
huh?
we did. We touched on the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. What
We
were
just-
what were your guys' thoughts on it, real quick?
I thought it was fun. So I said that it was a really, really, really fun game.
Mhm.
And then despite if you want to say that the call was a missed call or whatever you want to say it was, it just feels bad. I really wanted to see a minute and 30 left on the clock, 2 timeouts, go down the field. Like I just really, because I didn't care who won, I guess. I just really wanted, as a football fan, really wanted to see that like actually happen. Like go down the field. Let's see if you can get in field goal or get a touchdown. Like let's see what happens. So that's why you play. You know, it's competitiveness. And I'm just sad that we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think we got robbed out of a great finish either way, because that entire game was so exciting and so much fun. I mean, you can complain about how slippery the field was and how that was kind of trash, but for the most part, like, the game was really great. As far as that call goes, though, I don't like it. Like I just said, but it is technically holding.
It is technically
But
holding.
it's one of those like ticky tack calls, one of those like, I just got a ticket for a rolling stop when no one was at the intersection type thing. But I wouldn't hate it if we just had consistency. If that was called every single time, I'd be fine with it. But the fact is, the NFL, especially with the O-line, they let these O-lines get away with a lot of holding that you don't even see that in college. In college, the O-line gets called for holding way more than in the NFL. And if they would just be consistent, then it wouldn't have been a big deal. It would have been like, oh, you screwed up, dude. But instead, it leaves you that bitter taste, because it's like, oh, did you really need to call that? Because you wouldn't normally call that shit.
And you hadn't been calling it. That's what I said. I said, if it was called the whole game, whatever. It's going to be annoying, but it's called. But it was not called until the very last moment. And then it just felt like the flag came out after it was an uncatchable ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the other thing. It didn't even look catchable.
No, that's what I said. Like, why would you even do that? Because at the end of the day, like, it wasn't even going to have a chance to get to the ball. Like, he overthrew him.
Yeah, he overthrew him no matter what. Yes. And it's Juju. He's not that good. Actually, did you see what he did today?
So I saw that they got into like a little argument. I don't know what happened now.
Funny.
Basically, he posted a Valentine's Day card that said, I'll always hold you when you need me the most, or something like that. And it was the picture of the defender. It was funny, but it was one of those things like, oh, the guy who got carried by all these superstars is the one running his mouth.
Went on him.
AJ Brown totally got him good. He basically said, dude, you're about to like not be in the NFL anymore. And Mahomes saved you, which is true. No other team wanted Juju.
No.
And then the Chiefs gave him a 1-year deal, a fucking prove it deal. Like, and then he's out here running his mouth like he did something, when that game was literally Mahomes. On the offensive side, it was Mahomes, Kelsey, and Pacheco. Pacheco was a dog.
It was. Well, I guess we're gonna roll right into football. What do you think of the Raiders having to pay $40 million and cutting Derek Carr?
No, they don't have. They're cutting him to avoid paying $40 million.
So they don't have. So they're not paying. Do they have to pay him anything? Because I thought that.
No.
So your deal, so you can get cut without finishing getting paid.
Yes, because basically the way his
contract
worked was, if they had to cut him this week because like tomorrow or Friday or something this week, if he would have still been on the roster, the rest of his contract would have been cemented as guaranteed.
Oh, okay. So I thought
So
it
that's
was
why.
like, so they already paid him. So
Yeah, I mean, no, he already made good money these last couple years, but his deal wasn't fully guaranteed until after this year. And so essentially what happened is they gave the only team interested in trading for him was the Saints. So the Raiders gave him permission to speak with the Saints, and then he came back and said he's not going to accept a trade anywhere. So, which makes sense. I mean, why would you want to help out the Raiders?
oh, that's crazy too, because I was reading a little more about it just right now, but they would have had to pay Wednesday, that's I guess tomorrow, 32.9 and 7.5 for next contract, like for the next year. So they would have had to pay like 40. That's what it is. They would have they saved $40.1 million or whatever. So 40.4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what it is. I thought it was they had to pay him 40.4.
No. They cut him to avoid paying him that.
So what do you do now?
Now he's a free agent.
Well, no, not Derek Carr. What do you do? Do you hope that Rodgers is coming to you? Do you draft a quarterback? Like, what are you doing now?
I'm sure right now you're hoping that Rodgers comes, but realistically, you got to be prepared to draft. At the end of the day, though, what sucks for them is their defense is still trash. So it's like, yeah, you may desperately need a quarterback now, but it may not be that appealing for Rodgers to come because of that defense. And so you're going to have to waste a draft pick on a quarterback and still try and rebuild your defense.
And the only reason Davante Adams went there is because of Derek Carr.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
But he's now campaigning for Rodgers to come there, which is funny.
But I think that was always the thing, though, right? They always
What's
had a
that, Justin?
relationship.
The personality. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It's his vibe. It's
yeah.
weird. It's eclectic. That's Vegas.
Right? He can go get lost in the desert.
Drugs, maybe be there, maybe not. Who knows?
Well, right now he should be in darkness.
Yeah.
I just hope he leaves the NFC North. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm so cocky and confident right now with the state of the Lions, and we got great draft picks coming up here soon that I think even if he stays, we're still running the North this coming year.
12-5 good?
It is going to be 12-5 good, buddy. But obviously I would prefer him to leave. What's weird though is I've been saying, in fact, I even think I said it on the live stream that he either stays or he goes to the Raiders. I'm taking that back. I think he may go to the Jets.
Yeah.
And I only say that because I just can't picture him in a Raiders uniform.
I can't picture him in black.
It just doesn't look right. Like I just can't see that.
Something about Aaron Rodgers being a Raider, being in Las Vegas, like it just doesn't fit his MO.
Yeah.
I think it fits perfectly.
He is like
he's
a Green Bay quarterback. Like it doesn't make sense for him to go anywhere but Green Bay. Like Tom Brady going to Tampa made sense.
It's like a retirement spot.
Yeah.
It's what every person does in Boston is retiring.
Literally. So it's like, and I mean, what he just got off, he was on Pat McAfee show today, and he came off of his 4 days in the wilderness.
Oh, he came off of it.
Yeah, he just got.
I thought he was going into it today.
No, he didn't want to watch the Super Bowl. He wanted nothing to do with the Super Bowl.
I don't think he watched the Super Bowl. He was
okay. That's what I thought at first. Yeah, I thought he wasn't going to be around for the Super Bowl, and then I kept hearing that he wasn't starting it until today. Like even other talk shows were acting like he was starting it today.
I thought he came back from it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I thought he came back from it today.
Okay. Was he acting like he came back from it?
He looked like he came back from it. He looked like he looked like he spent 4 days by himself in dark woods.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but he
that makes sense.
But he definitely he was just laughing because they was talking about how like they stir up a lot of controversy on their topics on their like half an hour that they do.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, yeah, Pat gets talked about on all these mainstream shows now because of that interview every week.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that
And, oh, well, did you hear about his lawsuit now too?
No, what
Pat
happened?
McAfee's
Yeah, Brett Favre is suing him
for defamation of character?
and suing Shannon Sharp and suing the auditor of Mississippi.
And Michael Irving is
And he's
suing
an
somebody
idiot.
else.
Oh, he's suing. I don't know who he's suing, but he's got to be suing somebody related to the incident that kept him off TV for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah. Which
And
I'm still
Marriott
curious to
Hotel.
know what the real full story
Yeah,
is.
what happened there? Because it
He's
was like
suing the lady and he's suing Marriott Hotels because it was basically like alleged, like I don't know, it was like
because it was like a day and a half before the Super Bowl.
Right. And he came in after drinking somewhere and he was in the lobby heading up to his room. But like, I don't know. It's had to have been something he said, right? Because
Must
it's going to
have
be
been.
okay. If it was a lobby here for the Super Bowl, there would have been so many people, so many witnesses. So if he did anything physically,
Yeah.
it would have been on cameras. It would have been, so he had to have said
100%.
something.
Two
But like,
witnesses were
what did
there.
he say? Some witnesses.
two
Has anyone said what
on
they
his
saw?
behalf. And I
Okay.
don't know what they said. Do they say anything? Yeah, come on, you're already here.
Yeah, this is our stats analyzer.
Oh,
I looked into it. Sorry,
And?
a few days ago.
no, bring it to us.
Essentially, so when he filed the lawsuit, he said that he had just basically introduced himself because she had stopped him and talked to him, and she's a staff of the Marriott. And then
Okay.
the lawsuit came shortly after that, and two witnesses said that he kept a few feet between the two of them, introduced himself, and went back up to his room. And he has the lawsuit against Marriott because they wouldn't necessarily look into it. And then they were the ones who went ahead and filed it, but there was no police report or anything like that to
So-
say. that
And
it
is
was
there
nothing.
what are the allegations?
Is it just
we
like that makes
I'm not 100% certain.
that makes no sense to me that what?
Watch yourself, boys. It's this kind of world out there. You
It
look at a woman
is.
the wrong way, sued, motherfucker. You sexually
now I
harassed
will
me.
say Michael Irving has a interesting history to himself, especially back during his playing days. But yeah, I just can't.
But also
I'd love to know what
yeah, if that's
the
the true story,
allegation
what
is, because I
hell?
just that's weird.
Super weird. Poor guy.
Let's talk about some hires. We had some big coaching hires the last couple
All
days.
Eagles.
All Eagles, baby. Fly Eagles fly.
Feel
we
bad
got-
for them a little
yeah,
bit.
now they lose their OC and their DC. How does that
Yep.
affect anything going forward, right?
Well,
The-
first of all, Cardinals are dumb.
Yeah.
you don't think that was good to hire their DC?
Their
He didn't
defense
do
wasn't good. Their defense was not good.
I mean, it wasn't horrible.
Their defense was before Josh Johnson got hurt in the NFC Championship. It wasn't like their defense was going crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
And then in that game, yeah, they did decently well against Mahomes and the Chiefs, but I don't know. I wouldn't be hiring that guy
Their defense
after
had
this
a
year.
huge regular season, like a lot of sacks, a lot of this, but postseason did nothing. Against the Chiefs, they didn't sack Patrick Mahomes once. And they were
And he had a busted ankle.
Yeah, and he had a busted ankle.
And he
Can't get to him
rebusted it in that game.
And if you look,
Yeah.
they ran the same play on them twice for a touchdown.
And I understand the OC getting a job.
Yeah, he's
Like,
good.
but when I saw that the Cardinals hired him, I was like, man, that was another horrible decision by the front office.
Cardinals are like one of those poor decision makers. Like they're just really good at making poor decisions.
Yeah.
I know I'm backtracking a little bit, but I started reading the Juju AJ Brown tweets. Kind of funny.
It's
Oh,
pretty
super
funny.
Kind of funny. And like I don't know why
TikTok
Juju
boy.
got so upset. Like
Juju knew what he was doing. He's a fucking
Wait. Oh, so did Juju respond to?
yeah, so
Oh, I
Juju-
didn't see that.
You just said glad you finally able to get all that off your chest after all these years. Good game, bro. Thumbs up and a ring.
After all these years, so what have these guys had beef? For a while?
Maybe, but it was funny because he said like, "Oh, you did this thing," and then Tyreek Hill said, "What? What do you say? Like, oh,
Man played victim, and I'm logging off here today
Yeah.
in response to Juju.
Well, to be honest, I think even Mahomes called out Juju because Mahomes tweeted something like, "This man must be bored" or something along that. So like, I don't know. I don't like Juju. I think it's funny he gets called TikTok boy. Because like I said earlier, it's literally like a superstar team that does all this work, and then like one of your mid players is out running his mouth like he fucking did something.
That was the Steelers.
That was him on the Steelers too.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Who did not have a game? Who I didn't see anything called from is Valdez Scanling,
he
whatever,
had 1 or 2 balls thrown to him.
but nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. MVS did
No,
not go off.
this year was all about Mahomes and Kelsey
And
Tony
Pacheco.
and Mahomes and Kelsey. And Pacheco, he was like inconsistent in the regular season.
Yeah.
Well, especially because in the beginning they still had Clyde Edwards that they were feeding. But yeah, by the end of the season, Pacheco was a beast.
Okay, so you're gonna say bad hire by Cardinals. I'm also gonna say bad hire by
Correct.
the Cardinals. Good hire because goodish hire because like he comes off of a Super Bowl going to team and like has the culture and stuff like that. And like if you're following Sirianni, hopefully you can follow that. Hey, listen, I'm not saying
No. I know your train
But-
of thought, but I just want to tell you, as a Lions fan,
oh yeah,
it's
Patricia.
not great to hire a DC who just lost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Patricia. But the only thing now is who's gonna be the OC and how are you gonna be able to work with Kyler? Or well, Kyler will be out the year probably.
He won't be out the whole year. He'll come back. I bet you November.
Okay, yeah, towards the end of the year.
Come
back for a
he'll
couple
definitely
games.
be back. Yeah, because he needs to at least get back out there. He
Yeah.
can't take the whole year off. So Kyler will be back. As far as an OC goes, I have no idea because they waited so long. Obviously, you're trying to hire someone who's in the Super Bowl. You're going to wait longer than everyone else, but they waited so long that I'm not sure who they can hire because they're not the only ones still looking for an OC. Tampa Bay's looking for an OC. The Colts will be.
The Eagles.
The Eagles will be now. Like,
Who was in Tampa?
it's going to be interesting.
Leftwich.
Leftwich, he got fired after
Yep.
the year. Yeah.
He took the brunt of it, basically. That's what happened. And did the Chargers hire an OC yet?
Yes.
Yes, they hired Justin's favorite Cowboys OC of all
Kellen
time,
Moore. Yeah. And then
which
we
was
had
weird. They hired him literally like
a couple
12
seconds
hours after he
yeah,
got fired.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that. And then
weird.
you had the Colts hire the OC from the Eagles.
Better than
great
the-
hire.
That was a
Great
good
hire if they can finally figure out a quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that team's so good. should
they
be
have
a lot
Peyton
better.
Manning curse.
What'd
They
you say?
could.
They have a Peyton Manning curse.
Oh, yeah, they could.
After Peyton Manning left, that team has not been the same.
Well,
maybe an
You
Andrew
could
Luck
you could
curse.
even call it an Andrew Luck curse because he kind of left them high and dry right before. Was it a preseason game or was it like the opening?
It was
like a regular season.
before, like I think he played like a preseason game and said, "You know what, I'm done."
Yeah, so it was like he
And
left
then-
them right before a regular opener.
And then when he came back on TV this year, he looked like not great.
Really? I think he
better.
looks good.
Yeah, it just looks
It's-
slim.
It just he looked really slim.
Well, good.
Well, yeah,
keeps fucking
he-
eating and
He
lifting.
had to carry a lot of weight back then because he was getting the shit beat out of him. He
True.
needed some cushion.
True. And then I think we're the only 2 hires right after Super Bowl. Do you think that what's his name from the Chiefs, the OC?
Bieniemy.
Yeah, Bieniemy. Do you think he's ever gonna get hired anywhere? Or
I
is
don't.
it-
I don't know.
Or is it this is Andy Reid's offense? Like you're not really doing much. Why would we hire
Well,
you?
that see, I think that's a huge part of it. If it's that teams aren't really interested in him, it's because they know who runs the show on the offense. Even Andy Reid was saying all this week when he was being interviewed leading up to the game that if he does leave, he hopes that he gets to go to a spot where he he gets to be Eric Bieniemy and he gets to run the show the way he wants and everything. And it was kind of being talked about in the context of even like another OC position somewhere. So I if it's people not interested in him, I think it is because of Andy Reid just being the godfather there. If it's Eric who's passing up opportunities, maybe it's hey, Andy Reid only has so like he's not going to play all of Mahomes' career or coach all of Mahomes' career, right? So maybe it's I'm going to wait until I'm in the prime spot to take that coaching position over. So I don't know.
Patience is a virtue.
Never thought about that way. And then last thing I'll start you off or end you guys with football. Do the Ravens franchise tag Lamar Jackson?
I think so.
They don't sign him this year.
No sign.
No.
But I
kinda
don't think they
sad.
let him walk either.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the franchise tag is such a useful tool now. You can get,
I mean, they're still going to have to pay him a lot of money. I don't
Yeah.
know how much off the top of my head, but it's still a lot.
it's like 30 something million dollars. It's still like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because it's still it's the average of the top 5 salaries, something like that.
Top 5 or top 3, I forget.
Yeah, something like that.
What's up, Justin?
Justin, you look so tired.
I'm tired, but I hate that. I feel so bad for my guy.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason that it sucks is because if God forbid anything happens in an injury, you're kind of
That's fucked up. Pay him.
yeah, you're kind of
No, I
Well,
think
the franchise tag is fully guaranteed.
Here's
I understand the
but
franchise.
I
tag is fully
don't
guaranteed, but
care about that. It's not it's it's a commitment
I know.
to the player.
know.
And it's like this pussyfooting thing that you can't just be like, you know what? You are a bigger deal than what you're a big deal for our team. You're a big deal
Yep.
for our franchise. You are our face of our franchise. So how can we negotiate a play? Like they did it for Patrick Mahomes. They're doing it for all these other people. Why are you being so fucking stingy? Is it because you're in the hood and you're in Baltimore and no one really likes Baltimore, or and you don't have the money
they're
to pay him?
probably
Like,
the trashiest team in the league.
Well, that is the problem when you put so much guaranteed money in a contract, you technically have to put that money in escrow.
yeah.
And so it could be the owner not wanting to let go of that much cash on hand.
a lot of money.
Like I still think, like, dude, I feel like there's so many ways teams nowadays can make better. You can do ad revenue, like sharing. You could do or like profit sharing, whatever that is to help compensate for that.
For sure.
Why the fuck are you not trying to draft him? That's what they did with Patrick Mahomes. They technically guaranteed like 5. They didn't guarantee him 500 million, but with all the extra things he gets in it, it could be up to 500 million.
And that was a great deal at the time. Looking back, like that's already a hella deal compared to some of these other contracts. And obviously Mahomes totally deserves it. But like the Ravens need to look at the rest of the NFL and look at a situation like Kyler Murray and look at a situation like Deshaun Watson and realize that neither of those guys have a MVP. Neither of those guys have great reputations.
Nope.
Obviously one a lot worse than the other.
Yeah, don't put the
sorry to
reputation of-
Kyler for
Yeah, what the
to
fuck?
group them in with that. Well, they're totally different types of
you
bad
got a
reputations.
guy who is considered a sexual assaultist, and then you got a guy
To move on.
you got a guy you got a
who
guy
just likes to play a lot of video games.
come on
And
you can't put-
wow, there's other rumors about him being a douche. But regardless, you have that. Like, how can you not tell yourself that you gotta pay Lamar? And if you're like, if I'm Lamar, I'm already like done with them. Tag
Okay.
me, fine, but I'm done with you.
So here is also something that we should look at. So Cyrus told me this too, but Todd Monken, he was the OC for Georgia.
Yes, he just got
OC
hired.
for the Ravens now.
Yes, he just got
Mm.
hired.
So like how does that do? Are they using it as a year to just like, oh, what do you think about this and that? I don't know. Either way or not,
or are they
Ravens.
using it as a year to draft Stetson Bennett?
the Baltimore Ravens. Being a pussy, stop avoiding it. Just find a way to make it work. Like you said,
Lamar Jackson's only a year older than Stetson Bennett, so
Which is
might as well pay him.
and at the same time, like you talk
You
about him. He's
scared
done
them.
all this with no players. He has no running. He has no
Sorry.
solid running back. He has not had a consistent running back for a full
I'll be
season.
right back.
He's
He
not
has
had a wide
no
receiver.
number one wide receivers, and he's been an MVP. He takes you to the playoffs every fucking year. I know you don't love. I think you don't love him
No.
because he's all
I
Baltimore,
like
but
Lamar. I don't like the team he's on.
it's just fucking how he's
Like,
doing so much for you as a franchise.
The fact that you can it's almost kind of like it's like a Chicago Justin Fields, but making the playoffs every year. It's like you're literally the team. You're the Baltimore Lamar Jacksons, but like
Lamar Jackson.
you're just not like you can't do anything because when you get to the playoffs, you meet teams that
Yeah,
are
but-
well rounded.
and they're being cheap again because they don't
Yeah.
want to afford good players. They want, and that's what makes me so mad. You have to put your money where your mouth is in order to win championships. You think the Kansas City Chiefs are a cheap team? Like sometimes you don't have to, and you can get lucky. There's been teams that
Yeah,
have.
but they've paid
but-
they paid Mahomes, they paid Kelsey, they've paid their defense a little bit. They've paid for people.
So like
They paid for Tyron a lot.
they put, I mean, Marlon Humphrey would be one I know they paid for. I know they just signed what's his bucket, the running back they got from Chicago, Raquan Smith, for a big deal. How are you signing all these fuckers, but you're not going to sign the face of your franchise?
Yeah, that's
Face
true.
of your franchise. So that doesn't make sense to me.
That's true. Talking about college football, we had the OC from Georgia get hired. We had who do you think is the first quarterback off the board?
I don't fucking know.
Bryce Young, CJ Stroud.
I have to look at the draft.
Yeah, that's a far ways away. I was just wondering because Jim Irsay shows admiration for Bryce Young during a news conference.
Who's that?
Bryce Young, the Alabama quarterback, and Jim
No,
Irsay
I know who
is
Bryce Young is. Who the fuck are you talking about?
the owner for the Colts.
Oh, so fourth. Then you got to get through Houston and Chicago, who was I don't know. Chicago is
Yeah,
rumored
but
about-
Chicago's rumored that they might even trade Justin Fields. Like, I don't understand what that is.
That's confusing too.
Yeah, I don't know why you would trade the Chicago Justin Fields. Why would they trade Justin Fields? You are the Chicago Justin Fields.
They're not going to.
They're not going to.
If
but
if anything comes out about that, it's literally just to bait teams into trading up for their pick.
and then, but who do you think is the last question I have for you guys is before I have to go because it's late here. Who do you think is the first quarterback off the board?
Houston, Bryce Young to Houston.
I don't know. I keep going, but I see a lot of CJ Stroud to Houston predictions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably go with you, Justin. Bryce Young. That's who I would draft. But it's either him or Stroud.
And yeah, because
You know who's hurting their draft stock is Will Levi.
who's that?
Kentucky quarterback.
Kentucky quarterback
What do you
who
do?
didn't have he didn't really have that great of a year, and then he chose to not participate in the Senior Bowl, and like he's just not doing himself any favors.
Yeah, because you have the Houston who's probably gonna be taking the first quarterback.
Yeah.
You have the Cardinals who aren't gonna take a quarterback. You have the Bears who probably aren't gonna take a quarterback. You have the Colts who probably will take a quarterback. Seahawks probably won't take a quarterback. Lions probably won't take a quarterback. Raiders might take
Did
a
you
quarterback.
say the Colts will?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they should because these vets aren't working out for them, but they
Yeah.
just love their veteran
do.
quarterbacks.
That's so annoying.
They do. You got the Seahawks who probably won't. You got the Lions who probably won't. You got the Raiders who might.
Yeah.
Falcons who probably won't. Panthers who maybe.
You're
They
going
might
through a
take
lot.
one. Yeah, they might take one. I'm just going through the top 10. And then you got Philly. Wow, Philly has a 10th pick overall.
Philly has 2 first-round picks.
They got the 10th overall
Um,
pick after making the Super Bowl. That's what it's saying.
And they won't. And actually, now that I even think about it, I bet you Jimmy G goes to the Raiders. So probably Raiders won't draft,
Okay, so Houston takes the
even
first,
if they don't get Rodgers.
Houston takes the first quarterback, and I think it's going to be Bryce Young.
That was a long-winded answer to that.
And I'm
Let me
excited.
go in circles. I'm tired. It's late here. That's what he.
Yeah,
Let me go through the entire draft.
and I'm excited to see who takes the Tennessee quarterback.
Nobody.
Who,
No, he'll
Tannehill?
get drafted. No, the Tennessee, like this.
Oh, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker, the best. name in
He'll get
college-
grabbed. He'll get
The
grabbed.
best name in college football.
To be honest with you, if the Lions do draft a quarterback, I would love it if it was him super late rounds,
Mhm.
like that people forgot about him type thing. Because I think he'll be a steal when he's healthy.
he's gonna be good.
He is going to be good. I think so.
Alex
You don't think
literally
so?
just likes him because he's from Tennessee. Alex doesn't.
No. If
I know,
did you watch his games? Like they
did.
probably could have been playing in the national championship over TCU. They probably could have been Michigan.
They should have
TCU.
been.
They should have been Michigan, Tennessee, playing in Arizona. But and you got TCU,
You know.
who beat Michigan. Both of you guys went. Well, other than that, I think that's all we got for you today, boys. Since you've been so lovely, what?
First off, this podcast was recorded on Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. To all you
Happy
lovers.
Valentine's Day. For all you people
And
who love and
Happy
who-
V-Day.
We have a very, very special birthday. A little fat boy in here. Yeah, Alex.
Yeah.
And me tomorrow, the 15th, is your birthday. So I just
Me?
wanted to wish you a very happy birthday for the podcast from everybody. And hopefully the podcast wishes you a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Big Al.
Thanks, guys. Means so much to me. Tomorrow, big day. And yours is next Thursday. 2 Thursdays from now when we release an episode.
Do you guys remember the hotel party we
Oh,
had for the two of
man.
you, since you
Yeah.
guys had you guys have your birthday so close together?
That was a good time.
And I believe that is because Macho Man came out from you. And
That was
if
the
you guys
strongest
don't
I've
know
seen
who
Al.
Macho Man Randy Savage is, he isn't just a Hall of Famer in the WWF. He is also Alex's drunk alter ego.
Yes. It's
Just
one
for
of
a
my
night.
favorites.
It was a
Just
single night.
one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites.
It is one of my favorites. I still believe I have.
We're not going to talk about it. So
videos.
thank
No,
you.
I think
boys.
it's
I
funny.
definitely have pictures still.
Thank you,
from it.
boys, for the
He
birthday
said,
wishes.
let's move on.
You can follow us at Three Amigos Podcast on all socials. We are out there. We're doing the damn thing. So come follow, come hang out. Anytime you want to see us live again, come hang out, dude.
Yeah,
Other
that
than
was
that-
fun.
Yeah.
We should do that again soon.
100%.
For something.
Boys, do you have anything else to say?
Never.
Nope. I'm just excited to get into the off season because it's always fun to start seeing teams make moves.
It
Oh,
is going to
yeah.
be a good time. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see where people go. And Chris, try to stay out of jail.
I'll
all
do
I
my
gotta say.
best.
Thanks,
Sorry,
dude.
guys.
And
I
until
know, you
next
need to
week.
behave, sir.
Yeah. Until next week. See ya.
See ya. Wait, I'm gonna find this.